Hello, you're watching VNEWS Bulletin. I'm Bihang from Hanoi with the major stories.
Vietnam, Laos outline measures to deepen bilateral ties. Vietnamese consumers spend over $252 billion in 2024. And later on, Swallowtail Boat Racing Festival in Muong Lay.
On January 9th, in Ho Chi Minh City, General Secretary Tu Lam met with former party and state leaders, veteran officials, as well as distinguished intellectuals, scientists, and artists from southern provinces and cities.
Participants thanked the party, state, and relevant agencies for giving them due attention, while proposing ideas to support the growth of writers and artists. They also delivered suggestions for perfecting the legal framework to enable breakthroughs in the development of science and technology, innovation, and national digital transformation, as well as to foster the growth of high-quality human resources. Extending his New Year greetings to the delegates, the party chief said he hopes they will continue to contribute their valuable ideas and wisdom to the revolutionary cause of the party and people. To achieve the strategic goals set for 2030, with Vietnam becoming a developing country with modern industry and upper-middle income, the leader underlined the significance of unity in the political system and support from the people, as well as science-tech development. He pledged that the party and state will continue to give the best conditions to intellectuals and scientists so that they can make more important contributions to the revolutionary cause.
President Lương Cường on January 9th made a working trip to the northern mountainous province of Lai Châu. More details in the following report.
Visiting Pa Tan commune in Sinh Ho district, the state leader expressed his joy at efforts made by the local administration, soldiers, and people to overcome difficulties and challenges, to complete and even exceed the set socio-economic development goals in 2024. On the occasion of Lunar New Year, Tet, the state leader extended his greetings to the party organization, administration, people, and armed forces of the commune. The state president visited a Zir Chow border guard stationed in Pa Tan commune, participated in making Tet cakes, and attended cultural and traditional sports activities of the ethnic minority groups in the locality. Earlier the same day, the state president visited and presented gifts to the family of war invalid Nguyen Van Hien, who has an 81% disability and is infected with Agent Orange in the commune, and the Pa Tan health station.
Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính arrived in Vientiane on January 9th, beginning his two-day working trip to visit Laos and co-chair the 47th meeting of the Vietnam-Laos Intergovernmental Committee at the invitation of Laos Prime Minister Sonexay Siphandone.
At the meeting, a multiple of substantive measures were sketched out to deepen the Vietnam-Laos relations. The two sides concurred to maintain and improve the efficacy of the existing cooperation mechanisms, effectively arrange high-level visits and meetings, bolster defense, security collaboration, and build a Vietnam-Laos border of peace, stability, cooperation, and comprehensive development. Vietnam and Laos agreed to enhance bilateral economic ties, while forging stronger trilateral economic connections with Cambodia. On the trade front, both nations will strive for a 10 to 15% increase in bilateral trade volume in 2025 as compared to the previous year. In conclusion, the two prime ministers stressed that they will drastically direct relevant quarters to effectively concretize the signed agreements and continue to create favorable conditions for the business communities of both sides to cooperate in investment, business, and production. Right after the meeting, the two prime ministers witnessed the signing and exchange of several cooperation agreements, including that on a cooperation plan between the two governments in 2025, a power purchase agreement, and a cooperation plan between the two education ministries. On the same day, Prime Minister Pham Minh Chinh and Prime Minister Sonexay Siphandone co-chaired a conference to promote investment cooperation between the two countries. To date, Vietnamese enterprises have invested in 267 projects in Laos, with a total registered capital of $5.7 billion. Bilateral trade turnover in 2024 exceeded $2.2 billion. Participants said that economic, investment and trade activities between the two countries are not yet commensurate with their potential. Praising joint efforts in developing infrastructure to connect the two government leaders agreed to continue working together to remove obstacles, to help businesses in particular, and the two economies in general, reap new successes, steadily entering a period of stronger development. At the conference, 13 investment certificates and investment agreements were granted to businesses from the two countries. Besides, 6 cooperation agreements in the fields of aviation, finance, energy, agriculture, and human resource training were also signed. Right after the conference, under the witness of the two prime ministers, the State Bank of Vietnam and the Bank of Laos announced the framework for local currency payment and bilateral retail payment connection using QR codes.
Chairman of the National Assembly Trần Thanh Mẫn hosted a reception for Chinese ambassador to Vietnam, He Wei, in Hanoi on January 9th.
The host leader stressed that Vietnam always treasures the friendly, traditional neighborliness and comprehensive cooperation with China, considering this a top priority in its foreign policy. He expressed his belief that the Chinese diplomat will work to further strengthen the political and diplomatic relations between the two countries, as well as cooperation in investment, economy, trade, tourism, science technology, and others. For his part, Ambassador He showed gratitude to the Vietnamese top legislator for sending his message of sympathy to China following a recent major earthquake in the Tibet Autonomous Region. The diplomat hoped that in the coming time, the two countries' legislatures will continue to play their important roles in supervising the implementation of key cooperation agreements that the two sides have signed. On the same day, National Assembly Chairman Tran Thanh Mun hosted Cuban Ambassador to Vietnam, Rogelio Polanco Fuentes. Chairman Mann expressed his confidence that the newly appointed diplomat would help to facilitate the implementation of agreements signed between the two parties and states. Looking ahead, the top legislator hoped that 2025 would see intensified visit and experience exchanges across all levels. For his part, Polanco Fuentes said, the bilateral relations are in a phase of comprehensive and sustainable development. Marking 2025 as the Vietnam-Cuba Friendship Year to celebrate the 65th anniversary of diplomatic relations, December 2, 1960-2025, both viewed it as an opportunity to further enhance the special bond and solidarity between the two nations.
Foreign direct investments in the real estate sector for 2024 reached $3.72 billion, marking up 18.8% of the total FDI that Vietnam attracted in the year, second only the manufacturing sector, reported the General Statistics Office.
When combining both new and added capital from previously approved projects, the total FDI in the real estate sector hit $5.09 billion, accounting for 15.1% of the total FDI Vietnam attracted in the year. In terms of disbursement, the capita disbursed in real estate business activities hit $1.84 billion, representing 7.2% of the total FDI, making it the second largest sector in the field, following manufacturing. Notably, while major global real estate markets are underperforming, FDI in Vietnam's real estate sector is on the rise, underscoring the market's appeal to foreign investors. Furthermore, the strong growth of Vietnam's manufacturing sector has made industrial real estate an increasingly attractive segment. This growth is driven by the presence of numerous foreign investment funds and developers focusing on high-standard warehouse and factory projects.
Vietnamese consumers spent nearly 6.4 quadrillion Vietnam dong, over $252 billion on goods and services in 2024, highlighting the robust recovery and growth of the domestic market.
According to the General Statistics Office, retail sales and consumer service revenues surged by an impressive 9% compared to 2023. Stimulus measures introduced in the year's final months significantly boosted the services sector, particularly retail and consumer services. Compared to 2019, before the COVID-19 pandemic, retail sales and service revenues in 2024 increased by 29.4%, underscoring the market's strong post-pandemic rebound.
The Vietnam Music Copyright Protection Center collected over 393 million Vietnam dong, or $15.5 million in music copyright royalties last year, up 14% year-on-year.
Of the total amount, royalties from digital platforms, including websites and music applications, were more than 305 billion dongs, or 78%. The Vietnam Music Copyright Protection Center distributed nearly 257 billion dongsto copyright holders in 2024. An additional 94 billion dongs in royalties for the fourth quarter of 2024 is expected to be paid to authors and rights holders in January 2025. To safeguard the legitimate rights and interests of its member authors, the Vietnam Music Copyright Protection Center pursued 79 cases related to copyright infringement, intellectual property, and contract disputes, with 34 of them successfully resolved. This year, the center will continue to prioritize licensing music usage rights, monitoring the market, and handling copyright violations.
At the start of the new year, Mường Lây town in the northwestern province of Điện Biên burst with excitement and joy during the annual Swallowtail Boat Racing Festival. Over the past decades, the festival has become one of the region's most iconic cultural events, serving as both a thrilling sporting occasion and a bridge connecting local ethnic communities.
A key ritual marking the festival's opening is the Tế ceremony, a traditional offering to water deities. Shamans, artisans, village elders, and leaders perform this ritual to pray for favorable weather, bountiful harvests, and peaceful lives.
We pray for the safety of our children and grandchildren during the boat races and for the good health of everyone.
This year's festival featured 19 teams from wards and communes in Mường Lây town, as well as from Mường Cha and Tùa Chùa districts in Điện Biên province and neighboring Lai Châu and Sư Lạp provinces. Throughout the 1-kilometer race, enthusiastic cheers from a large, lively crowd created a vibrant atmosphere.
This time, we've trained very hard to prepare for today's event and to compete with everyone else. This year's festival has attracted many participants, all competing with great enthusiasm and dedication.
Mường Lây also hosted the National Paragliding Championship, featuring 40 pilots from paragliding clubs across the country. The launch site was set in Ho Hoi Luông hamlet, over 1,000 meters above sea level, with the landing zone in Mo hamlet, Lây Nưa commune.
This year's weather conditions are good, with favorable winds.
Festival goers enjoyed various cultural and sporting events, including a culinary competition, visits to traditional spaces of the Thai and Hmong ethnic groups, and thrilling experiences like paragliding and jet skiing on the hydroelectric reservoir.
It's my first time here, and I've never tried so many new activities: boat racing, jet skiing, and paragliding. I'm excited to join in.
The Swallowtail Boat Racing Festival has become one of the most anticipated annual events in Điện Biên province. It serves as a source of pride for Mường Lây ethnic communities and a distinctive tourism attraction that draws visitors to the waterways at the start of the new year.